Hello there and welcome to Lower 6 Maths L. This is the Applied Practice Paper E. Here we're working on question 6. A car is initially travelling along at a constant velocity of 15 meters per second for t seconds. We're ultimately going to have to work out a velocity time graph here, so we'll do that as we go along, I think. Okay, so velocity here, time down here. So we start at a constant velocity of 15 meters per second. So 15 meters per second here for a time of t seconds. It then decelerates at a constant rate for t over 2 seconds. So the next part here is going to be 3t over 2 to a velocity of 10 meters per second. Whoops. So 10 meters per second the speed will drop to, or the velocity will drop to, and at that time we're at 3t over 2. It then immediately accelerates at a constant rate for 3t over 2 seconds before reaching a velocity of 20 meters per second. So up to here, and by this time we've got to here, we're at 3t and a velocity at 20 meters per second. All of these lines here, they're at constant acceleration, they should be straight. Okay, so that's what we need for part A here. Given that the car travels a total distance of 1,312.5 meters, work out the value for t. Okay, so what we need to do here is, in this case, a velocity time graph has an area underneath the graph that represents the distance travelled. So for the first section A here, we'll split up into 3 sections. The distance travelled here would be 15t. In the second section here, we're going to have an average height of 12.5. Add 12.5 times by, that's happened for t over 2 seconds. And for the second part here, in between 10 to 15, 10 to 20, we're going to have a speed of 15, and this journey happens for 3t over 2. So all of these 3 areas added together here are going to give us 1312.5. So let's simplify what we've got here. This value here is 25 over 2, so let's create all of our fractions over 2. So 30t over 2 plus 25 over, so it's 12.5 over 2, isn't it? 12.5 over 2t, and this one here is going to be a 45t over 2, so that's 1312.5. So doubling the 30 in 0.125, and we're going to get 30, so let's add all these t's together, so we'll get 75, 87.5t is going to equal, double this 1312, and we're going to get 2625. So then grabbing your calculators and dividing 2625 by, and we get t equals 30. Okay, so t is the value of 30. Okay, so that's what we need to do. 7 marks for that question.